All right, guys, what is going on? What is good? Oh, fuck. Damn, that music was like... What is good, everyone? What is good? Hope you guys are ready to learn something today. Right? How to not get fucking cooked going long in a bearish market, right? How to not get cooked, big dog. You guys ready for that? Drop some ones if you guys are ready for that, dog. I pointed to lower pricing today. And, I don't know, it's a pretty fat down candle if you ask me. In my opinion, it's a pretty big fat down candle, I must say. Right? What's good? Mason, Naruto, Z, Eminem, Eric, MJ, Capitalist, Jorks. Capitalist, hopefully you appreciated my story yesterday. I went and clipped part of the live stream yesterday about punching grandmas. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. Danny, what's good? Danny, Adam, Jonas. 23.3. Well, to be fair, I'm not going to call today's low of day. I do not plan on doing that. I don't plan on doing that. What's good? Felix, Cameron, Marshall, Max. Forgot where I left off. Willow. So on and so forth. Grauberg, what's up, man? Rich off the dip. Aquazi, yeah, both of you, or all three of you haven't been here in a while. Welcome back. Glad you're here, big dog. Glad you guys are here, man. So I left all of the well, not all of them, but I left a lot of the markups on here. It is going to be dirty. It's very clean, but it is there's a lot going on, and I know sometimes that may feel like a lot. What's good, Ibranith? You're not late. We're just now getting into it. I had a comment in my head, but I'm going to leave it to myself. I forgot what I was saying. Sometimes the things that I teach you guys, it might feel overwhelming. It might be a lot of ideas. But in fairness, we do have a law, right? KISS, keep it simple, stupid, the law of simplicity. We do have that. Now, when it comes to top-down analysis, right, you're going to have to analyze multiple time frames. You're going to have to hit your weekly. You're going to have to hit your daily. You're going to have to hit your hourly, 5, 15, whatever have you. So what does, let's say, a weekly and a daily have to do with a 5-minute and a 1-minute? What do you think? Now, me personally, I don't think it's always necessary to look at the daily if you're trading a smaller time frame. But if you do want the full scope of what the market is likely to do, then it would be a good idea to align the indicators. Not indicators. We don't do indicators over here. I was trying to read your shit, Jorks. You said the indicator you have. You fucked me up. To align your time frames. Okay? To align your time frames. What's good, Manuel? Jorks, I am not sure. It's funny that you mention indicators because I am working with one of my current students who is getting indicators made for us. So now we don't need to make another one of those. We already have that. Now, what you're asking, I think is very similar to what T-Trades does and has like 3 or 4 days of candles. I think that is a good idea. Right, Cameron. See, you brought that up before I mentioned it. Um, I think he charges like 45 bucks a month for that indicator, and it does other stuff too. Um, Something he calls the T spot, which I think is just 50% of the previous day's candle. I could be wrong, but I'm not an expert in the guy's content. Okay, I watched that series and a few other random videos over the years, but I know his indicator does like other stuff too. But as far as I'm aware, I know it prints like today's candle in the last like 2 or 3 candles. So I don't have an indicator that does that. I don't know of a free one that does that. If we have to make it, I'm sure somebody can make it. But here's the thing. Every indicator that I've ever made, well, I've never made them. I've had other people make them. I will not charge for them. I will not charge for them. Every indicator that I ever put out will be free. So Willow, to an extent. To an extent. Keeps you aware of where you are. Daily, weekly bias for overall direction of the markets, right? Smaller time frame for entries and setups, right? You're gonna learn something on Thursday. Today Tuesday, right? Yeah. That video, the free, I don't know what I named it, bro. Something free day trading strategy for beginners or something like that. You'll learn a little bit of top down over there as well. What's good, Sean? But anyway, let's start off on a weekly. And Chat GBT is great for making stuff, but it sucks writing code. I mean, I was doing it and I kept saying there's an error on line 44, there's an error on line 7. It just kept like, it took like 12 times to finally get something to work. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Nice title, by the way. Thank you. What do you think it means? Do y'all even know what a dead cat bounce is? It's an old stock term. It's an old school stock term. What's good, 2020? There's an option in the settings. You can select the time frame and how many candles you want. Mason, is that for this one? Is that for this PO3 one, or is that for a different one? Because I really haven't looked into this all that much. I just make sure that it uses midnight New York, and that's really about it. I don't really do anything with the settings. A false bounce, fake liquidity grab that looks like price is moving upward, but it ends up going back down. Okay, so just so you know, you can actually put this into Google. It's a real fucking thing. Let's actually just go to a completely obscure asset that has probably no markups on it. Like the VIX. We really don't do a lot all that often with VIX, so we'll come over here for a minute. So a dead cat bounce. Again, this is a stock term. You really don't see. I mean, I guess you see it everywhere else too, but it started off in like the stocks realm. So basically, in short, it's when a stock, right, is trading and then it drops, say, like 30-40% in a day. Usually the next day or a day, like maybe 2 days after that, it'll have a short-term bounce, potentially before going lower or consolidating. So when you have a super bearish market and you get a small retrace, and sometimes those retracements are a lot. It could be 5-6%, 10%, you know, something like that. And just started raining again too. If the stream cuts out, it's because I lost power. Okay, it's been storming here recently. Texas power grid is the equivalent of Dow Jones on a 1 minute time frame. So that retracement here is a dead cat bounce. So the logic is, even if a cat were to be thrown off a building, it would hit the ground and bounce. Even that's kind of the, I know I didn't name it, but even dead cats will bounce. Was good, Oscar and Harmon. So what do you think that means? You can't walk a dead cat. What do you think that means? You think I just make shit up? Well, I do, but there's a reason. There's a method to the madness, big dog. There is a method to the madness. You can't long a bearish market, bro. Can't do it. I mean, you can, yes, but you're not going to walk it. You're not going to long and then get out at new highs and then, you know, have a good fucking day. That's not going to work. You may long and then have a profitable trade. Market goes lower. You might try to long here. Market goes higher. You might be in a profitable trade. Boom. The market continues lower. That's where the title comes from. Can't walk a dead cat. All of these in here, to me, by definition, in the way that I've learned price, they're not dead cat bounces. They're engineered lows. Engineered lows. And, well, those are the current major lows right now. So these short-term retracements, that, again, is an engineered low. But a lot of people would view that in now, right, now that we're looking at it, as a dead cat bounce, right? Super bearish market retracement. Super bearish market, dead cat bounce. Super bearish market, right? That's why I said today in the chat, Danny, I wasn't trying to call you out. I was just saying, like, I said earlier, like, bro, at 844, I was saying 580. That's lower. We got 580. And then I was saying that longs, right? Only noobs long today. Right, because look at it. It's fucking lower. So I was trying to get you to understand, bro, like, why are you longing? Why? It's a down day. So, again, I'm not trying to be a douchebag. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It might come off that way sometimes, but look at that. We called for lower pricing. We're lower, right? So why are you trying to long? For what? Now let's get to the business. I actually meant to keep all that hidden because I wanted to walk with you top down, and I'm afraid I have screwed that up. Right? I'm not perfect, chat. Okay. So let's go back. Okay, let's do some pretending a little bit here. All right. Now, mind you, I've already traded it today. I already called it for you. I already said stop fucking longing. Okay, we've already done all that. But how do we get there? How do we get to that? Now we can, right, do a little bit of pretending, okay? What did I tell you, I think, on Saturday? I said Saturdays are great for two things. Number one, I don't remember which order it was, but I know I said that the weekend is good for analyzing the higher time frames because you're not in a trade, right? Drop a like on the stream, guys. We got 65 people, 20 likes, right? If you want some value today, hit the like button. Hit the like button or you're going to blow your next account, okay? Like the stream or blow your next account. There's no in between. So I told you, analyze the higher time frames because when you're not in a trade, if the market's not moving, with the exception of crypto, right? Index futures. If it's Saturday and most of Sunday, there's no movement. So you can be objective. You're not worried about placing a trade. You're not worried about, you know, anything because the market's dead, right? So when we look at our weekly time frame, right? Let's take a look at last week for a second. Okay? And again, I'm going to keep the markups hidden, but avoid this current week, right? Just look at last week. Take a look. Take a look at it. Last week, I believe, I don't remember what day it was. Yeah, Sunday the 10th of last weekend, I told you it'd be a bullish week. We got that, right? No need to keep pressing those fucking, right? No need to stroke that ego anymore. That's already done. But look at how we closed, right? Look what we did. We opened, traded lower first before going higher. That's typical, right? But look at the close. We ran all the way up to 20,000, whatever, 68, 24,068 and a half. And then we traded off of that and then closed at 23,796.75, right? So can a trader look at this chart and reasonably anticipate the next candle? If we were to try to do that, right? We don't have to. But if we were to try and do that, what could we expect? Well, just based on the weekly time frame and the last three candles, I may not know. But I can tell you that when a candle takes out an old high and closes back within the range, that may not be bullish. That might be bearish. Okay? Now, we need a little bit more information on the daily, right? We need a little bit more information. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then, yep. So there it is. Okay. So there's last week, these 5 candles right here. Monday traded lower. Tuesday, massive expansion. Fucking beautiful. Sorry. Told you guys I'd work on my cussing. Freaking beautiful. Big James. Wednesday, high of the week. Look at that candle. That doesn't look very bullish anymore. Thursday, really didn't do a lot. Traded back into the range, into that imbalance. Friday, gave us our close. And Friday's close. Look at that high. You see that? That high. July 31st, Thursday. We traded and closed below that old high, right? Let's go back to the weekly just to make sure you guys can see it. Right there. You guys picking up what I'm putting down so far? Drop some 2s in the chat. We got 75 viewers. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Drop some 2s in the chat if you guys are getting this. Getting real complicated, right? All these math equations and exponents and PEMDAS and all that stuff, right? Oh, yeah, CRT fanboys, yeah. Ugh. I banned that word on Twitter because all that shit is stupid to me, personally. But, you know, I'm not gonna come out here and argue, you know, this, that, and the third. Okay. I consistently trade and call out the high of the day to the minute, and those guys don't. So we'll leave it with that. All right. So anyway, that low, right? We close below that. That's not bullish. I know they never do it. If they could do it, they would. So what can we reasonably anticipate? If we happen to trade lower, right? Do we have anything over here that the market could trade down and into? Now, mind you, we have not gone past the daily. We're still on we went to the weekly, we're on the daily. We're still going to go down in time frame for a little bit more information. But currently, just based on the daily time frame, this is what we have to work with. So we have that gap that was over here. We talked about that when we were in here. That may or may not be important over here. We'll take a look. Would anything in here be bullish necessarily? Well, I don't know. We'd have to look. We have an imbalance here that got respected on Thursday. But then what happened on Friday? What happened on Friday? that imbalance here got traded through. So that imbalance is what? If it ain't bullish, what do you think it's going to be? Okay, you got to think binary here. If you've never seen the Matrix, bro, you got to go watch it. Zeros and ones. Okay? If it ain't bullish, it's bearish. If it ain't bearish, it's bullish. If it's both, it's neither. Did you guys catch that? I'll see that last part one more time. If it's both, it's neither. If we can frame longs and shorts, that's low probability. So it's neither one. If we can frame longs, can't frame shorts, that's high probability longs. If we can frame shorts and not longs, that's high probability shorts. I think, if I said that correctly. I don't have any notes here, chat. It's all off the dome for me. We're looking to frame a one-sided market. If we cannot frame a one-sided market, it's not a high probability trade or directional bias. Okay? That's why we're starting up here and working our way lower. We have an imbalance up here that was responsive to a degree on Thursday. And then Friday was like, nah, we're not doing it. Okay. So that may become an inversion. We'll have to see. We do have a very, very small gap here. That may or may not be anything. We'll have to see. And then we do have a imbalance right here. Does everybody see that in the blue circle? August 6th high to August 8th low. You see that? We do have an imbalance there, and we actually have a gap below that. So if we do happen to have any sort of lows, we do have an imbalance here, right? Some of you are starting to put this together now because you know exactly what the fuck we talked about yesterday and the other day. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. He said if fucking World War III broke out, we got some lows down here. Oh, yeah. You thought because we didn't trade down there just yet, that level was just... Oh, John, we're not going down there. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, that low is what? 23,587.5. What was the level I called for you? Right. 580. Hello. Hello. Right below those lows. How far can price go below a low? The next available imbalance. Hello. That's exactly why I kept hinting at why are you longing? Why? Is that bullish? No. Is that imbalance bullish? Maybe I didn't show you that. I'm sorry. We'll come back over here. That imbalance was utilized there and utilized for those lows. So guess what? If it ain't bullish, what's it going to be? Bearish. Look at that. Do you see how we traded through it and then back into it? Right. You're trying to long that. Why? I don't know if the mic cut out. Sorry, I'm hype over here. I've had a lot of energy drinks today. Why are you longing that? That's an inversion. We have not hit that daily imbalance yet. Now, we may. Now, only because I mean, shit, dude, we really went to the low end of that here. We're seeing possibly a low of day. Possibly. But I told you a few minutes ago, I'm not trying to call it a low of day. Not today. No. Look at this. I'm not trying to step in front of that. You can. I'll let it go. If you want a long down here, I could see that. Yeah, we've already visited the discount end of that imbalance, but until that particular point, it's bearish. Let's come back up here. because you think, you know, that these old levels don't matter, right? That we just leave them alone and don't use them. Well, take a look. That daily imbalance we marked up, right? That Thursday on the 14th, sure, we traded into it and off of it. There was some level of respect. And then, I think Friday's close is somewhere over here. So Friday's close below that. This now can potentially become an inversion. Where does price stop on Sunday evening? Where does it just stop and turn? At 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I don't know, some random fucking spot, right? Some random place that nobody would ever know. Imbalance, got some up candles too, sure. No big deal. Sunday evening, I usually don't trade Sunday evening, right? 80 level up there, possibly. Unless you're talking about what I called out earlier, then yes. But we trade lower, right? And then what happened yesterday? Yesterday, to me, we got a lot of gobbledygook yesterday. Yesterday, we did run some internal highs. We ran some lows. We did rally into the close. Yesterday just was, I'm not going to say it's bad price action. Okay? I don't believe in bad price action. Was it the cleanest for me personally? No, it wasn't. Were people able to take good trades yesterday? Oh, sure. Sure, of course. Right? But when we don't get, I'm going to say clean delivery. I'll just put it that way. Okay? So my mindset here is, if Monday is a rather unclean day, it doesn't give the cleanest delivery, it doesn't give things I want to see or that I'd like to see, we don't really get extended moves. We do in the after hours, which is, you know, I tweeted that yesterday. And I didn't tell you to short, but if you want to put that tweet on there, you can. But anyway, let's come back. Daily inversion. We trade into it, right? And then what do you notice about that? What do you notice about our, I'm not going to say the acronym, overnight gap. Overnight gap. There's our Monday close and Tuesday's open. You see that? But look closely. Look at it. We have Monday's pretty much high of day. It's a high of the AM session as well. Our overnight gaps higher, rallies up to that. Where is it not going though? Where's it not going? It's not going back to the premium of the range, is it? The range of the daily inversion, right? Shit. There we go. It has no need to go up here. Look at it. It's already offered buy side and sell side. There's a lot of commerce up here. Where does it not go? Right, Danny? Right. In a bearish market, we don't want to see the upper half. We've already traded in the upper half on Monday. Should we do that again on Tuesday? If it's bearish? No. Okay. What else do we have here? Short-term high, low, higher high. That swept liquidity and traded through it. So what do we have here? We have a mitigation and overnight gap. Okay. Now it does hit that mitigation and go, and it went lower. It does end up actually trading back through that mitigation. Yes, but it respects the overnight gap. See that? And then where does it stop to? Right? A lot of people don't understand inversions. They don't get it. But what's our high of the day during London? 804.5 is the low end of the daily inversion. What's our high of day? 23,804.75. It's one tick back into the daily inversion. And you think these old levels aren't important? Okay. Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. We trade off of it. We trade higher, lower, and then here's our equities open. And that's what you saw. Oh, sorry. I haven't released a video yet. I recorded this in here, and I'll release that for the members later, but basically it was a short above that high with the stop right there. And it was the original idea was actually like way up here. And I ended up taking partials, and then I was holding for the 23,580 that I told you about, and I ended up getting stopped out on one of these runs higher. So I did, in hindsight, I would say I mismanaged the runner, but I really didn't want to risk it coming all the way back to my entry. So I ended up exiting everything up here. So I did not catch the extension lower, which I also put in the chat too, right? I was like, I got to be happy with what I got, right? With that face, the guy's like angry, but he's got the smiley mask on, you know. And then everything I just told you, we extend lower. That imbalance was bullish a long time ago. It ain't bullish anymore. So if it ain't bullish, what's it going to be? Bearish. Then we extend for the daily imbalance. That's why you can't walk a dead cat. It's going places that you cannot see. You don't look at the inversion. You don't look at the daily, and it's got a 1 hour imbalance down here too, right? You don't look at higher time frame levels, and that's why you don't understand where the market's going. Respectfully. And when I get it wrong too, it's for the same fucking reason. You miss what's on the higher time frame, or you miss maybe something on a lower time frame. So, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but we talked about this level of liquidity like days ago. We talked about that yesterday, and I'm pretty sure we talked about that last week at some point. Why do you forget the levels, fam? Why do you draw that out and then forget about it? I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, how did we make these highs in here? Short-term high, ran. Short-term high, ran. I wouldn't really say that, but short-term high, ran. Short-term high, ran. And then what was my entry in here? Or maybe I did. Did I post? I think I posted it to Instagram. Maybe I did. Short-term high, I'm shorting above that. Right. Right. Pretty much right before equities. I entered like right before equities open. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. Why would I not be? We'll take a look. For all the reasons I've already told you. How many times do we need to sweep a high to go lower? It keeps doing that. That is a signature of a bearish market. So guess what? All of the evidence points lower. There's not a single thing that's bullish about today. Until, again, I want to make this a point. It ain't going to be bearish forever. It is not bullish until maybe something on a higher time frame. But everything that I've already shown you today, right? Stop hunts, stop hunts, stop hunts, respecting daily levels, respecting 1 hour levels for higher time frame targets. You have to get in sync with price action. Okay? You have to get in sync where price is likely to go to, especially on a higher time frame. I do see the market pretty clearly, Grauberg. I don't always, bro. I mean, you saw gold, right? Just for sake of clarity, someone asked about gold earlier. I was like, hey, be careful. There's some equal highs. And then, boom, that bitch slammed lower. Look, I ain't always right, dog. I told you I'd throw you a loss sometime, right? Or at least getting it wrong, right? I didn't do a full analysis on gold anyway, but, you know. Yeah, I can see things pretty clearly, but that's only in certain cases. If we can frame both sides, that's not clear to me. But if I can frame a one-sided market, oh, you bet your ass. You bet your ass, man. Those are the good trades, right? And on top of that, even if you weren't reaching for, I'll be honest, none of you were probably looking at the 500s or the 600s. On a small time frame, probably not. But even if you weren't, even if you did not, you had yesterday's lows as well as a potential run. See that? That's a 1 to 2. 1 to 3, just a little bit further than that. So even if you didn't see the higher time frame level, if you took partials and held 1 for the close, you would have caught that whole shit today. Right. And I agree, Mason. If you can't frame a one-sided market, it's probably a low probability trade. On top of the fact that Nasdaq's our weakest index today. Nasdaq is dog shit, which is usually not the case. Dow was actually green earlier. It usually doesn't happen that way. Did today. So we do want to short the most bearish market. And in today's case, that was Nasdaq. ES was, for me, honestly, I didn't really like what we did. I didn't like it. I mean, we made some highs at a certain point. I don't know what time frame that was on. We ended up running higher and we broke down to go lower, right? And then I think Dow, same shit. It does run higher first, which I really wanted to see that yesterday. We didn't get it. I don't know what happened at 5 a.m. this morning. I was not awake. I didn't see any news on Forex Factory. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But for some reason at 5 o'clock this morning, Dow just completely ran the sell side, and London's low and whatever low that is. We take all of that, then we extend for the buy side in the pre-market, and then equities launched us higher. And then we even extended a little bit further up into that. So I did not trade Dow today. Really, the only markup that I have going lower is these up candles here. We traded through that. There's your shift in the state of delivery. And, a lot of people say there's no perfection in trading. The open is 45,248. And the high on that is 45,248. It's perfect, right? They say there's no perfection. But what is that? What is that? That's perfection. That's what that is, right? Like, fuck, man. I mean, you don't have to listen to me, but just listen to price, broski. Just listen to price. Price will tell you and show you more things than I ever could. You know what I mean? But look at that. We were also, that short up here was also above midnight New York in a day that we can anticipate expansion lower. Right. Thank you, dog. It's mad shit. It is. It's crazy stuff. And I give it all out to you guys, bro. And people still don't like this stuff. People still don't trust inversions. Even though, you can see they're pretty precise in here. A lot of people can't frame low risk trades in here. I can. A lot of people can't trade the low end of the range. I can. A lot of people can't trade in the middle of the range. I can. Everybody can trade the high end of the range. That's what everybody tries to do. That's one of the easiest things to do. It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. You're trading in the direction of the higher time frame and or liquidity. That's it. It's the same rules every fucking day. We have a set of lows. How far can the market go below the lows? The next imbalance. We don't have one. Right. Zoom out. Next time frame. Daily. Wow. Difficult. It's not hard. Y'all just have to actually pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? And that's it. That's all I got, dude. It's been like a little over 40 minutes, but I mean, look at everything we did, right? We didn't have a naked chart, but just to speed run this one more time in case you showed up a little bit late. We started off on the weekly, okay? First thing you should have noticed about that this weekend, or if you got to the charts, today and you looked at it, first thing you should have noticed, last week closed below that low. That may not be bullish. It still can trade higher, but we're going to need some evidence that we would, right? So then today we want to mark out, for the week, if you want to mark out your weekly open, that's fine. I usually don't, but if you want to do it, you can. I will not fault you for it. All right, weekly open. We can go down to the daily time frame, just like we did. We saw this extension higher. We left an imbalance on Wednesday's close, which was respected on Thursday. Friday closed below it. So this is no longer bullish and potentially can be bearish. What did we do yesterday? Traded into it and off of it. Does that look bullish to you? No, that's not bullish. Then we go down to the hourly. And if you want to throw on, I always forget where this shit is at. It's, there we go, session breaks. If you want to throw on session breaks to see the day a little bit, to look at the week in a little bit more structured manner, meaning like, okay, here's Wednesday, here's Thursday, here's Friday, right? So then Sunday, Monday had traded into it and off of it. That's not bullish, right? Then we can see that 1 hour, which you already know about this because I fucking gave it to you, right? Those lows, those lows are here. Do we want to long when there is lows? Now, up in here, sure, right? I mean, it's going to take time for the market to get back down there. And those lows can be left open for a little while. You can see, we initially made the low on the 11th. We did not trade there until today, which is the 19th. So that's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days before we got there. So in the short term, yeah, you can probably scalp for longs, to an extent. But we have a bearish target. We have higher time frame evidence that the market is not bullish. Right. So we should frame for shorts. We go in. We see, again, this is just my opinion. I know other people probably took good trades yesterday. I think a lot of yesterday was gobbledygook. That's just me. Okay? But our gap, our overnight gap, is really what set the tone. We got the volatility in the after hours. The market was bullish, got traded through, now it becomes bearish. Those highs got taken, and everything I've already given you. We're printing lower, lower, lower. Okay? So drop some threes if you guys got some value today. Drop some threes if you understand that you can't walk a dead cat. Okay? A dead cat bounce is those short-term little movements higher. But look at it. It's bearish. We got a little bit of retracement, lower. 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 Higher time frame focus, bearish. Lower time frame focus, bearish. That's how you do that. Okay? So we'll go ahead and cut it early. Everything I've needed to say about today's price action. The important things are what, chat? Type them out. Let me know you guys are hearing what I'm telling you. Type it out in the chat. What is important? Higher time frame bias, liquidity, What else? What else is important, chat? Give me a checklist. I'm a new student. This is my first day. What do I look for? What do I look for, chat? I'm brand new. I don't even know what a candlestick is. What's bull and bear? What the fuck is that? Mason said, don't long when there's lows. Well, to a degree, yes. For the most part, yes, I could agree. Liquidity, timing, wait for a one-sided market, inversions. We look on the left, right? Now, here's the thing about that. I don't look at this like a sell model. You can, but it is very distorted. Like, this is a very controlled demolition is what it looks like, because we have our consolidation, we get our manipulation, and we just don't go lower with speed. So I may not look at it like that. I really see this more as a really big AMD. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I mean, fuck this. I don't even know where we would honestly draw this from, but just to give you just a visual, right? Which this has already been taught to you as well. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, AMD. I mean, how many times do I need to show you this stuff, bro? How many times do you need to see it? If it's not bullish, it's bearish. If it's not bearish, it's bullish. If it's both, it's neither. Higher time frame, checking weekly candle on the weekend. Well, I mean, you can check the weekly time frame anytime. I've always said it's easier on the weekend, or maybe whenever you're not in a trade. Right. I told you guys, there's nothing but horizontal lines, bro. That's all we've done. All we've done is marked out horizontal lines and boxes. That's it. Horizontal lines, or rays rather, is the technical term, because we do have a horizontal line, but I use the ray. All we've done is horizontal rays and boxes. That's it. That's it, bro. No complicated math. No nothing like that, dude. Nothing. It's that simple. Simple. Find the liquidity. Trade in that direction. Right. Big up candles, small down candles, bullish. Right. And the inverse. Large and fast down candles, slow up candles. Large and fast down candles, small, weak up candles. Easy. Easy. So now, again, I'll say this in closing. Trading may not be easy, right? The patience, the discipline. We work on patience and discipline outside of trading. So when we get to the charts, we will be disciplined and patient, right? Yeah, Adam. Like it's the 80s. Like it's the 80s. So that's it. If there's no questions, then you guys are free to enjoy the rest of your afternoon. That's it. All right. Just make sure to drop a like on the way out. We got a little over 60 people, only 46 likes. Let's see if we can get to 50. Can we get 4 more likes on the stream? I believe in you, chat. I believe in you, viewers. I believe. I believe. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But y'all be good, be blessed. We'll be here same time, same place on Wednesday the 20th. I will put out the market review later this evening in a couple of hours.
I got 20 watches off plain Jane and I bulletproof my range. I got got 20 bucks down, watch when I could've went about me a plane. You don't got business mind, he ain't killed nothing, ain't no sense stressing my game. You can't turn mud into diamond, then you won't feel my pain.
So I used to sell drugs to block fly shit, you don't know how far I came.
I'm a real street nigga, I'm on that for these millions, I play lame.
Fuck how they feelin', nigga, I made it. Get what you want, bitch, when I'm paying. Goddamn, Ram saying. Got about a quarter of them in that van. I ain't doing shit but serving them J's, and we still ducking them rays.
You jumping in that water, nigga, you just like me. I'll switch up sides, I be with boss niggas who just like me. You from Detroit, got a line on dog food, you just like me. You on a jet plane with a check, nigga, you just like me. A street nigga with finesse, dog, you just like me. You know how to play around with that fat, nah, you just like me. Grew up with champions, stand outside, just like me. Told 100 rounds, just like me. Slang choppers, you outside, just like me. Plain watch, bust down, just like me. Paying cash, ain't got no lease, nigga, you just like me. You tryna rap, get out the streets, nigga, you just like me. You love that bitch, but you can't trust a dog, you just like me. You hustle hard to get a new Alpha 1, you just like me. You putting switches on your Glock, nigga, you just like me.